got victory. Come on, clap your hands like you love him. If you know the devil is already defeated, you ought to bless his name tonight. I said bless his name tonight. I said bless his name tonight. Come on, honor him tonight. Come on, with the fruit of your lips, come on. Come on, I didn't come to pump upon you. Come on, just open your mouth and bless him. Clap your hands like the devil's head is between your hands. Clap your hands like you know overcomer is your name. Hey, I said clap your hands. Glory to God's name. You can be seated, but high five somebody and tell them God's about to do something big for you. Come on, I need you to be prophetic. Don't be pathetic. I said high five somebody at your table and tell them God's about to do something big for you. Come on, I dare you to scream at somebody like you're ghetto and tell them I feel something supernatural coming. Huh? I said I dare you to scream at somebody like you got a whole ghetto mentality. Scream at them and tell them I feel something supernatural coming for you. Come on, tell somebody you sowed in tears, but you're about to reap in joy. I wish I had up in this house. I said scream at somebody like you're wretched and tell them I feel something supernatural coming. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. While you're standing, grab a Bible in your hand. I want to go to Exodus chapter 14. I want to jump straight into my assignment. Exodus chapter 14. I honor God. Y'all help me celebrate your great pastor in the person of Pastor Allen. Let's thank God for Elder Allen. Y'all help me celebrate the queen of my house. Let's thank God for Lady Tiffany Jackson. Y'all help me honor God for two of my pastors here. Let's thank God for Pastor Kirsten Hines, Pastor Dominic Webb. Let's honor God for them. To all of your ministerial staff, we thank God for all of you. Y'all help me celebrate one of my newly ordained deacons who came to be with me tonight, Deacon Taylor. Let's thank God for him. Last but not least, y'all help me honor God for my little brother who I think sings very dynamically. Let's thank God for Brother Charlie Brazil. I thank God for you, all of you. I'm grateful for this invitation to come back and be with you guys. Exodus chapter number 14. Amen. Y'all forgive me tonight. I have been preaching since Wednesday, every night since Wednesday, and I've got a busy week ahead, but I am grateful to be here. Amen. So I don't have a lot of voice, so let me use the part that I have to scream the rest of it out. Amen. Amen. Exodus chapter 14. I want to speak you know, I almost don't want to say prophetically because it's become so cliche and so passe in the modern church that when you say prophetically, everybody says it, but a lot of people don't have the power to see manifestation. I feel the need. God gave me a word tonight, and I'm not just talking about from the word. He gave me a word. Prayerfully, I'll release it later. But I pray that you would just receive this word tonight, and however it hits you, just scream like it's yours. Amen. Exodus chapter 14. Are you at Exodus chapter 14? Meet me at verse number 13. And I'm going to read from the New American Standard Version of the Bible. I'm going down to verse number 18. Amen. And if I scream and get all indignant, I'm in the right place to do it. Amen. I have resolved, Pastor, just in case it never happens to me, I have resolved, I'm okay with never being on a major platform because I don't mind being true to my assignment. Yes. What I have discovered is sometimes you got to sacrifice your identity to hang with bigger people.
Come on, you so right about that.
At 38 years old, I've discovered some of these Negroes just ain't worth it. I'm just saying, because You know, they want you to wear suits and they want you to be so uppity and dignified, and you know, they want you to have 20 people following you and 20,000 members, and I'm grateful for what I have and who I am. And then I'll say this just because I'm in the right place to say it. I refuse to become somebody that I'm not, to hang with people that don't like me anyway. Somebody trying to figure out what is he talking about. I'm not a member of the Butt Kissers Club. I don't kiss behind, and that's not my fetish. I'm just grateful for where I am. Anybody here can testify. Sometimes you really don't need more. No, I'm so serious. I have told God. This is not my sermon, but I told God today, help me to be comfortable where I am, being who I am. Somebody asked me a couple months ago, they said, Kareem, how many people does your church hold? I said, about 227 people. He said, you believe God gonna fill it up? Now I'm being honest. I said, I don't want him to. I said, if he give me 100-member church, I'm gonna be all right. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. Because what I resolved, my dad said something, Bishop Dobbs, that I never forgot. He says it to this day. There are some people that I actually pastor. Yes. Yeah. But there are other people that I actually preach to. Yes. Now sometimes we see, Sunday we had about 109 people. Typically we're somewhere between 50 and 80. But I discovered I only probably pastored about 20 of them. I know you don't like that kind of stuff. Sometimes we want God to swell us. But I want to be able to disciple those that are connected to me. So I don't want a big church just to say, oh God, I got a big church. I want to see lives being transformed. Now, I know that's not popular in modern church. It's not popular. I go places, man, they just want to know, did you dump it? Did you slay them? But look at somebody and tell them, I want a move of God. Let me jump into my assignment. Verse number 13. I'm going to read from the New American Standard Version of the volume. I know many of you have heard this, but let's see if we can extract some principles out of this text tonight. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But Moses said to the people, do not fear, stand by and see the salvation of the Lord, which he will accomplish for you today. For the Egyptians whom you have seen today, you will see them again no more forever. The Lord will fight for you. Watch this first prophetic declaration. While you keep silent. That's good right there. Let me. I have a brother who preaches, Bishop Isaiah Jackson. He's not my blood brother, but he's my brother. He has a thing he always say, let me pre-preach the text. So let me pre-preach this text. Look at somebody and say, you gotta learn how to shut up. Hey, do me one more favor. Look back at your neighbor and say, I'm talking about even in conflict. Tell him sometimes you got to shut up. Verse 15. And the Lord said to Moses, why are you crying out to me? I feel at home tonight. Why are you crying out to me? Tell the sons of Israel to go forward. As for you, lift up your staff and stretch out your hand over the sea and divide it. And the sons of Israel shall go through the midst of the sea on dry ground. As for me, now wait a minute. I just saw somebody see before. Verse 15, he told Moses, speak to the people, tell them to go forward. Verse 16, God gives Moses an instruction. Verse 17, God says what he gonna do. Go ahead. See, that's the dilemma of preaching sometimes. You mess around and see something you didn't normally see. I'm serious. I just saw that, for real. I'm so serious. Notice he tells Moses, not tell Israel they have a job. Moses, you have a job. I'm God and I have a job. Touch somebody, tell them everybody got a job. Oh Lord, I hate when you do me like that. Verse 17, as for me, behold, I will harden the hearts of the Egyptians so that they will go in after them, and I will be honored through Pharaoh and all his armies, through his chariots and his horsemen.
Yes.
Verse 18, then the Egyptians will know that I am the Lord when I am honored through Pharaoh, through his chariots, and through his horsemen. I want to preach a few minutes from the thought, a divine setup for a supernatural breakthrough.
Hallelujah.
Touch somebody and tell them it's just a setup.
Yes.
You may be seated in the presence of our God.
Amen.
A divine setup for a supernatural breakthrough. I don't want to mess up your system, but can I just have a little bit more volume? Just don't let it holler. I'm gonna try not to blow you out the room. Brothers and sisters, all of us in the room can testify at one point or another that we've had plans for our life. We already kind of had life mapped out the way we wanted things to go. We knew how many children we wanted to have. We knew what kind of husband, what kind of wife we wanted to have. We already had plans. We had things that we wanted to see. Most of us who grew up in the 80s like me had the desire for the nice house with the white picket fence. You wanted the Cosby Show family before you found out what Bill really did. I said that. You know, we wanted the Family Matters family without Steve Urkel next door. We all had plans. Isn't it a trip that sometimes the thing that we plan doesn't always go the way we want it to go? That sometimes we plan, but the problem that we didn't factor in is even though men try to plan, men don't have the power to bring manifestation. Now I kind of understand why the Bible tells us that we've got to learn how to trust in the Lord with all your heart. Don't lean to your own understanding. Watch this part. I'm going to rebuke you. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will direct you. Now, I will submit to some of us that you changed degrees 4 and 5 times because you never sought God for the direction you were supposed to take. So you had 5 career changes in 40 years. And if truth be told tonight, you still don't really know where you fit. Because you planned out of carnality, not out of spirituality. So the question then becomes tonight, if I plan and my plans don't go the way I want my plans to go, the question then becomes, why do my plans get derailed? Because if truth be told, if you've ever planned and you had, and you know, most of us can over spiritualize our own stuff. So what we do, we plan and then put God in it at the end. And then start trying to prophesy and declare what's going to happen in your life, but you never got with God to see if that was his will, not yours. That's not my sermon, but I just wish I could park right there and tell 5 of you, you would probably not be as frustrated if you asked God first. You probably wouldn't want to cuss everybody out because you agitated if you wouldn't ask God first. Go ahead. It's kind of like if you grew up with good parents. Good parents, you know, you would have a friend, you would bring the friend to the house, and your parent walk in and say, who is that? Oh, mama, that's Ricky. Ricky, go home.
Well, Mama, I told Ricky he could stay, but you didn't ask me first. Y'all hear what I'm saying? See, if you would have asked me first, I probably would have had some mercy on you. But because you took it upon yourself to do something that you didn't ask me to do, that's why it didn't turn out like you wanted to. Touch somebody, tell them, ask God before you play. Truth be told, brothers and sisters, many of us are frustrated because when you plan and you didn't ask God, it becomes frustrating. And you seem to sometimes feel like everything is lost. Now, here's how the enemy capitalizes on this, because what the enemy does then is he puts little seeds of doubt in your mind. And what happens vicariously, you become very pessimistic. You think everything is going to pop. So what you do is you live your life very untrusting, and so you're miserable because you think that everybody's got something out for you, because you don't know how to be spiritual in the planning phase. Even the Bible said no man builds a building without first counting up the cost. You know what's wrong with the modern church? You've been listening to preachers who told you you can have as much money as you want and God will make you millionaires, but the problem is they never told you got to learn how to plan. You can't have faith and don't plan. Y'all don't hear me. You can't shout about riches and you don't tithe, Negro. I said you can't talk about God is gonna give me everything I want, and God gonna give you millions and he can't trust you with hundreds. You boogers get a $500 check, got the audacity to give God $10, and then talk noise, talk about the church should have been glad that I gave. No joker, you better be glad that God had mercy enough on you that he didn't strip you of everything. I don't hear what I'm saying. You got to learn how to plan. The devil will make you pessimistic. He'll make you doubt. He'll put you in a position where you think that nothing will go your way. The problem is not you are under spiritual attack. The problem is God is trying to mature you to the place that before you bust so-called faith moves, you will ask God, come here, let me make you mad. You expect God to give you a business, but you can't be faithful to the job that you have. If you will never be a good CEO, if you can't maximize getting to work on time, you will never. I don't hear what I'm saying. I know you. Wait a minute, Pastor, you going too far. I got Bible. If you are faithful over the few, I'll make you ruler over many. You know what the problem with us is? We are bad stewards, but we good shouters. We know how to dance, but we don't know how to save. I got a rebuke for you. How dare you shout on Sunday and don't have life insurance? I said that. How dare you? How dare you scream and speak in tongues and don't have a savings account? How do you shop for stilettos and get your nails done, but you only got $50 to your name? The devil is a liar. Wealth is only going to come into the kingdom by wisdom. I know that's a cuss word for some of us, but I dare you to bump somebody and tell them God's trying to give you some wisdom. You never get a breakthrough without wisdom. Wait, can I go further? I promise I'm not. Can I go further? I won't even preach the whole sermon. Can I go further? Sometimes we are believing God for stuff we're not ready for. Come on. How do you want a wife and you can't pay your own bills? How do you want a husband and you don't clean your room? Now I'm sorry. If your room dirty, I think something else dirty. I said that. How in the world you got food still on the side of your bed but you take a shower? No, baby, I got a problem with that. Everything is about preparation. Oh, you don't believe me? I got Bible for that too. This same Moses, before he ever became house getting taught what the enemy was going to do. It was his preparation, and when it was time for him to move, watch this, to the next level, the Lord allowed him to kill an Egyptian because God knew if I let him settle where he is, he'll never move to be what I need him to be. So I need to get him out of the enemy's house, get him on the backside of the desert. And we don't hear from Moses. Why? Because for 40 years he's in prep time. Now I got a question for you, Applehead. How did Moses get 40 years of prep? And you think you go in 6 months, then you're going to be a manager? No, devil. You got a problem. You don't like authority. Lord, let me hurry up before they put me out, Jesus. Somebody shout, I need a prep time, prep time. You can't let the enemy make you pessimistic. You've got to learn how to plan according to the will of God. And you cannot lose heart because things don't go your way. I got a word for you. I got a word for you. Setbacks are a part of promotion. Did you hear what I just said to you? Setbacks are a part of promotion. The problem is nobody taught us how to prepare for trouble.
Come on, talk about it.
They only said to us, this is the old church. I was born in 1980. The old church told us, get a preacher in your hand. Give God your heart. You say. But they didn't walk us through the process.
You're right. You're right.
They told us, give God praise, shout, dance. If you was Baptist like me, he died. Didn't he die? Yeah! Early! Yeah! Sunday morning! Yeah! He got up! Yeah! But I want to cuss her out. How do I reconcile? He got up when she pissed me off. Because they taught us how to deal when he died. But they didn't teach us the process to handle conflict. Don't look at me with that tone of voice as if to suggest you so saved you ain't never got angry. Don't sit there and look at me like not only did you get angry, you didn't cuss at your God. Don't look at me like that. No. I was in the spirit of the Lord's day. You lying. Now I'm going to tell you what messed me up in church. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. My birth mother took us out of the Baptist church and took us to the Holiness Church. New Day Deliverance Holiness Church. Apostle Richard Taylor. I used to sit in the back row and wonder, how come every week this man talks about faith? We didn't hear nothing about what I was used to hearing. Every week it was faith. It's like he had 20 ways to talk about faith. He even tied faith one time into sex. That was the first time I started listening to the sermon. I ain't never heard nothing about sex in church. I didn't know church people even talked about that. That man would break the word down. I'm going to skip. Let me get to where I need to be. So one Thursday night, we were in a tent revival. And my brother was there. My brother, he wanted to interrupt the service because he wanted Apostle to pray for him. So my brother decides he was going to run up to the front of the church. He didn't know them ladies in that white. They called them nurses, but they were really ninjas. So I'm trying to hold my brother on the little chairs. He breaks out, runs toward Apostle. One of them nurses grabbed oil in his body and flipped that joker on the ground. And next thing they were praying for him, his eye turned red. I didn't know what was wrong with that boy. I'm talking, and Apostle kept preaching. I said, he gonna act like he don't even see all of this commotion. So my brother, once they finally let him go, his eyes turn back white. He comes back to the chair, touches the chair where I was sitting. I don't remember what happened after that. By the time I got back home, my tongue wouldn't stop moving.
Yeah. Go ahead. I already know. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Process.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So I tell people I've had the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
I know what it means to be Baptist.
Yeah.
But I got delivered holiness.
Yeah.
So much so I wrote a song about it called I've Been Delivered. The text helps us.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to figure out how in the world did all of that get in this text. I told you it was a divine setup.
Yeah, go ahead.
What I didn't know was it was strategic for God to use my birth mother to pull me out of tradition. That God would use my birth because we would get angry every time we had to go to this church. Oh, that just get on my nerve. Well, I played the instruments with my grandfather, so I was comfortable right there. Watch this. I thought connection was my ticket. I was going, when the Lord did call me to preach, Charlie, preaching is not what I wanted to do. I wanted to sing. So here was my plan. Okay, God, I'll do the preaching thing on the side. Oh, that's what I said. I'm going to preach on the side. Connection was going to be my ticket. In the ham and cheese did I end up pastoring a Baptist church?
You're
not Baptist.
Go ahead.
Because it was a divine.
Oh, yeah.
But hold up. Then the Lord says to me, Pastor, because I'm looking at about 30 people every week. I said, Lord, I know this ain't what you ordained. The Lord began to speak to me, and he said to me, son, I'll grow the church. I said, cool. He says, but I'll grow it on the back of the prophetic word. I said, oh, no, I can't do that. Because these Baptist folk. If I start prophesying, and they start speaking in tongues and falling out, my seniors are going to run out of here like the exorcist didn't possess this church. Y'all don't like the truth, do you? I said all that to lead to my first point. You thought I left the text. My first point is God has a plan. Now watch this, y'all. Watch this. We started prophesying, and I prophesied one Sunday, and I swore I would never do it again. Because real prophecy makes people spooky.
Go ahead. Oh, yes.
So I'll tell you what the problem was, Pastor. Every time I walked in the hallway after this particular Sunday, and I didn't prophesy individually, I prophesied corporately, and that was, here's the back part. 3 of my members, who I didn't even think had the Holy Ghost, came to me and said, Pastor, can I say something to you? I said, yeah. He said, you holding the church back. I said, what? What are you talking to? Pastor, you holding the church back. I said, why? He said, I just really sensed that God gave you a word that you won't release. And we need what's in you. I was like, yeah, okay. Went back to my office and I heard the Lord say to me, told you. And it echoed in my spirit, like, told you. So I said, forget it. After 4 days not being able to sleep, I walks up to the pulpit, prophesied. The next week, when I saw people say, hey, how you doing? They said, what you see? I just got on my last nasty nerve. Touch somebody, tell them, but God has a plan. So here's how the Lord really messed me up. The Lord started adding people to the church that were untraditional. And they started running and shouting and speaking in tongues, and I couldn't stop them. I said, Lord, where these people came from? Here's what I discovered. Whenever you get in God's plan, He gravitates to you. Everything that you need to be successful in your assignment. I came to prophesy. God's getting ready to gravitate people that's going to help you birth whatever He put in your spirit to do. I dare you to squeeze somebody's hand and tell them God has a plan. God has a plan. All right, wait. Let Let me show you something. Notice in God's plan, I got to stay in the text now. Israel had already reached the edge of the desert. Here's the trick, man of God. They reached the edge of the desert. The people are ready to march to Mount Sinai where they're going to worship God. Then God gives them instruction. Go backwards. Wait a minute, Lord. Wait, Lord. Wait, Lord. You told us we were headed to the promised land. The promised land is that way. God says, but go that way. Why would God tell them to backtrack when it seemed like they were on the right track?
Come on. Talk about it.
Because in God's plan, sometimes it operates in what it looks like to be reversed. Come here. Because God needed Pharaoh to think they were trapped. Come here, let me tell you something. Sometimes God will give you instructions that don't even pertain to you. It is an instruction to let your enemy know, this time I want you to attack. So I'll set up a situation to make you think that they are defenseless. But one thing I love about God, God don't operate in the flesh realm. He don't operate by what things look like. He operates by heaven's timetable. That's why I told our church, you know, we always say he may not come when you want him, but he's always on time. That's a lie. He's never on time, but he's always on schedule. I wish I had help that can help me right there. Help me testify. He ain't on time because time is predicated on what you consider time to be. Because there is chronos time and there is kairos time. Chronos is a 24-hour time system, but kairos time is heaven's divine moment, which means God moves at the rhythm of his own time. Lord, I wish I had 10 people to push me and help you understand that sometimes God is setting up a situation so that your enemies will think that you stuck. And we got to know, brothers and sisters, how to trust God to the place that we know that no matter what the situation is, God has a plan. Wait a minute. That means if God has a plan, that God is in control. Lord have mercy. I said if he has a plan, that means he's in control. But wait a minute, Kareem, I'm going through hell, but God is in control. I just lost my boo. God is, let me pause and tell some of y'all, you better thank God for some of the relationships you lost, because some of them people was going to wreck your life anyway. I know she had a big booty, she had big hips, but she was dumb as dirt. You better thank God. Y'all don't like me. I know he had muscles. He had muscles on top of muscles. He knew how to work you in the bed, but he would punch you in the eye. You better thank God. I said you better thank God that he got rid of that fool before he wrecked your life. Now let me tell you why you need to thank God. You need to thank God because you went through the bad relationship, but you still got your mind. It's a divine setup. I got to hurry, do me a favor. Touch somebody and tell them, don't let your senses fool you. Because God does not operate by what you see. God's got a plan that's going on in the supernatural. God's got a plan that you don't even see with the naked eye. See, that's why I got another word for y'all. I hope you receive this. 10 of y'all shout. That's why you got to learn how to get in God's will. Stop praying for his will and find out where he's working. Y'all don't hear what I'm saying. You know what I discovered about pastoring? I used to ask God, Lord, what was your plan for me? Lord, what is your plan for me? Lord, what is your plan for me? And when I start seeing how God was maturing the Y'all don't hear what I'm saying. And the problem is we come to church telling God to work on us. Let me show you how I know he's working on you. You might not be sinless, but you do sin less. He's working on you. Some of y'all better thank God for the small victories. I ain't cussed nobody out today. I ain't had a shot of Patron today. I ain't hit the blunt today. Somebody open your mouth and thank God for today. Let me show you the other reason. Lord have mercy. Here's the other reason. I got to hurry. Notice what he says in the text. He says that I'm going to gain glory from Pharaoh, from his horses, and his chariots. Which means God was going to execute justice on Pharaoh and his military army. They were to be destroyed because of their hard hearts, because of the terrible evil and idolatry, because of enslaving and brutalizing God's people. Everything that God does, whether you realize it or not, brothers and sisters, is all for his glory. What does it mean to glorify God? It means, watch this, to make him bigger in your life. When you glorify God, it is now God being bigger in my life than I knew he was at first. Now let me teach you a quick theology 101. God is always in the market to reveal another side of himself. So how does he reveal different sides of himself? He uses a plethora of situations to give you revelation, to give you insight into who he is. Okay, we call him Jehovah Jireh and say he is the Lord that provides. How do I know he's a real provider outside of Abraham? I lost everything that I had, but I didn't lose God. And some of us can testify. There have been times we've lost jobs, we've lost benefits, we've lost stuff, but we ate every day. We still had a roof over our head. So now when somebody comes and tells you you lost your job, you can point them in the face and tell them, I know what it means to trust in God, because I lost everything and God still provided. I need you to hit somebody and tell them he's a provider. He's a provider. God is setting up a situation so that he can give you a revelation. You can't worry about what things look like. You got to know that God is going to get glory out of what I'm going through. There is glory coming to your life. You've been to hell and back, but it was not for nothing. God's about to wake up and preach, Negro. I said God's about to get glory out of your story. You are in a storyline, and whether you believe it or not, you are not the main character. God is using your life as a message to somebody you don't even know. Pastor, I've been through rape, it's all good. I got molested, it's all good. My mama didn't want me, it's all good. I battled depression, it's all good. Because God will use the totality of your suffering as the greatest platform to minister to somebody that's broken. So what are you saying, Kareem? I'm telling you, God will break you to heal somebody else. You didn't like that, did you? I said God will break you to heal somebody else. You don't like that? I got Bible. It pleased the Father to bruise his son. And in bruising his son, all of us have been reconciled to God. Come on, we shouted about it yesterday. Jesus died so I could live. The old church said everything Jesus did was for somebody else. Touch somebody, tell them God's going to get glory out of this. I'm finna let y'all go for real. I'm finna let y'all go. But notice, brothers and sisters, Notice, brothers and sisters, the Lord wanted the people to know thirdly that he was the real deliverer. Lord have mercy. I said he was the real deliverer. Which means, brothers and sisters, when you look at Egypt and their gods, they were false gods. They were gods that had to be made. They were gods that had to be fashioned. They were gods that had to be moved. See, you thought I was just giving you information. Watch this curveball to bust you in your head. Because what I heard Pastor say is that some of y'all have made Facebook God. You've made Snapchat God. You've made Instagram God. How do you know? Because whatever you give your time to, that's what you worship. Yeah. I'm gonna bust some of you parents in the face. You think your baby is God's gift to the world. Do you know what God will do to you when you put your baby before him? He'll kill your baby to make you. I didn't like that, did you? Have you noticed in this earth realm that all of the parents that's trying to be friends, their children frustrate them to the place that a spirit of rage overcomes them and they end up killing them kids because they idolized them and they didn't discipline them. I didn't come to be nobody's friend. I love all my kids, but I ain't none of their friends. I'll punch them all in the throat because, yeah, I said that. Because when you love, you're not going to let your children run in the wrong direction and you don't pull them back and say, that's not the way to go. But some of y'all go to the club with your kids, go to the mall with your kids, you chase men with your kids. I said that. You get Junior and I'ma get Daddy. You trying to bring sexy back. Your sexy left 20 years ago. You got to learn that God is holding us accountable. I said that. I said God is holding us accountable. I'm sorry, ain't no God like our God. And I don't need a God that I can carry. I need a God that can carry me. I don't need a God, I don't need a God that I can tell what to do. I need a God that can tell me your attitude stinks. And if you ever go move to the next level, you got to learn how to get low, get low. I need a God that will correct me. I need a God that will stop me on the way to destiny and say, if I give it to you right now, your attitude is going to mess it up. You got to mature. Y'all don't hear me. See, y'all got the Holy Ghost that just make you speak in tongues. But I got a Holy Ghost that'll tell you, Negro, I know she fine, but you better go home. You heard what I said? I heard, yeah. I know they made you mad, but you better not go to the bar. And you better not take a shot of nothing. I know you're frustrated, but you better not call the weed man. Get on your knees and pray. That's the kind of Holy Ghost I know. He wanted the Egyptians to know that he was God. Let me ask you a question. How far do you think God is willing to go to make you know he's the only one? I'm talking about this man is so jealous. He said, I'm a jealous lover. I have no other God before me. So whatever God you put before me, I'll pull that God down. If I had time, I'd remind you of Dagon when they took the ark and put it in front of the idol. Every day they came out. One day he was laying on the ground. The next day he had limbs missing. The next day his head was cut off. I need you to touch somebody and tell them God's got power. That even if he put a box in front of a Dagon, he'll cut that booger asunder. Our God will have no other God before him. God's gonna get glory. I got to go. Let me give you this last one. I'm not gonna finish, but here's the other thing I see in this text. God is the one who controls the enemy. Okay, you don't know how to read the Bible, do you? Let me ask you a question. What did God say his assignment was? I remember him saying, my assignment is I'm gonna harden Pharaoh's heart. Y'all didn't hear what I said. Now wait a minute. God, you are so much God. You could have rescued us any other way. Why did we have to go this way? Oh wait, I got another question. I got a better question actually. Let me see if you will help me read the Bible. God, you talking about the Israelites. The Israelites had no military training. The Israelites, they didn't know how to wield a sword. They didn't know anything about military might. God, why did you tell Pharaoh to bring all of his horses, all of his chariots, all of his people to fight people who couldn't fight them back? Okay, you didn't see the picture? Why would God allow Pharaoh to bring all of his people, all of his horsemen? They are in battle array against people who had no weapons. Why do you bring your best to a fight against people that can't fight you back? I got an answer for you. Let's see if we'll shout. The answer goes like this. If I'm going to kill all your enemies, I need to kill them at one time. So in order to kill them all, I need them all in one place. That's how you know it's a divine setup. And I came to prophesy. Here's the word of the Lord that he told me to release tonight. He told me to tell everybody in the room that the outcome is already fixed. You might be going through hell, but the outcome is already fixed. I dare you to grab somebody by the hand, look somebody in the face, and tell them you just got to go through it because the outcome is already. Y'all don't hear what I'm saying. I need you to help me preach real good. Scream at somebody and tell them the outcome is already fixed. Tell your neighbor, say, neighbor, you're fighting a fixed fight, but tell them the reason why I can go through the struggles is because I know the end. Come on, cut that keyboard up, man. Let's ride. Grab you a neighbor, look them in their face, and tell them the hell I'm going through. I'm not going through it like I don't know the end. Tell your neighbor, say, neighbor, all I'm trying to tell you is you don't have to wait until the battle is over. You can open your mouth and you can shout right now because you know the end of the story. If God gave you a word, he's going to bring it to pass. If he got an enemy after you, it's because God knows you need your enemies to push you to the next level. Lean on your neighbor. I said lean on your neighbor and tell your neighbor you got a word over you that you forgot to quote. And it goes like this. And if your neighbor don't get happy, don't talk to him until May the 3rd. Look at your neighbor and tell him, here's the word over your life. No weapon. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. I need y'all to help me preach. You want to look at somebody and tell them I got enemies, but my enemies don't know victory in my name. I got a feeling that after what I'm going through, God's going to bring me out. So I'm not worried about what it looks like. I'm going to praise God now because I know the victory is mine. I need y'all to help me prophesy. Open your mouth and declare the devil is defeated. God is exalted and we have the victory. When I come out of this, I'm coming out on the other side. Somebody say, where you get that from? You got to read the Bible. The Bible declares Moses stretched out the rod and the thing that was wet, it became dry. I wish I had help in here. And the Bible said that the water stood up on both sides. Somebody said, Kareem, it wasn't like you thought it was. Some theologians said it was only 3 feet of water. I said, well, y'all stupid. Because if God could drown people in 3 feet of water. That's still a miracle. I need y'all to help me work a minute. Look at your neighbor and say, hey neighbor, I don't care how he does it. I just want the miracle. I wish I had a witness here. The Bible says they walked across on dry ground, and when the enemy saw them on the other side, he said, I'm coming after them, because God hardened his heart. And when he got in the middle of the ocean, the Bible says that the waters came down and it killed all the Egyptians. I need y'all to help me prophesy one more time. Grab you a neighbor that you haven't grabbed yet and tell them, neighbor, this is my last time grabbing you tonight, but tell them I got a word for you. Tell them every enemy that you see today, God's getting ready to destroy your enemy. I said, God's getting ready to make your enemy leave you alone. You on your way to another level. I got one more word, and it goes like this. Eyes haven't seen, yes, ears haven't heard, neither has it entered into the hearts of man. Those things God has prepared for those that love him. I need y'all to help me. Is there anybody here that know God is setting you up for a breakthrough? I said, God's setting you up for a breakthrough. After I've gone through the fire, after I've gone through the flood, God's gonna bring me out with his mighty hand. And I came to tell 20 of y'all, I see your exit. I said, I see your exit. You on your way out. You cried long enough. You struggled long enough. You went without long enough. God's about to make this your breakthrough season. Lay your hand on your chest and say, this is my season for a great turnaround. This is my season. God's about to make me the head and not the tail. I need somebody that'll get a little room in the room and give God praise. If you know you're coming out, I need you to give God glory. If you know you're coming out, I need all the dancers to hit the dance floor. If you know you're coming out, and when I come out, I'm coming out with a praise. I'm coming out with a shout. I'm coming out. Yes! Yes!
out.